In South Africa's mountains, 65,000 years ago, Thabo crouched under a rocky overhang, his hands steady as he struck flint with precision. In the Howiesons Poort culture, part of Africa's Middle Stone Age, Thabo crafted microliths, tiny stone blades so sharp they fit bows and arrows, a leap in human technology that predates similar tools elsewhere by millennia. His fingers, callous from years of practice, shaped points finer than a needle's edge, perhaps taught by his mother, who sang of hunts under starlit skies. Found in Sibudu Cave, these tools reveal a people not just surviving, but innovating, crafting with purpose and pride. Thabo's blades hunted antelope, defended kin, and sparked a future where humans would conquer distance and danger. Imagine his quiet focus, the stone's cool touch, the crack of flint echoing in the dust. His work wasn't mere survival, it was the dawn of invention, a testament to Africa's role as humanity's forge. Why do we overlook these first creators, whose tools carved the path for us all? What dreams did Thabo etch into the stone, hoping his children would carry them forward? In Nigeria's Nok valleys, 3,000 years ago, Adamma's hands danced with clay, molding figures that seemed to breathe. Around 1000 BCE, the Nok culture thrived as one of Africa's earliest ironworking societies, but it was their terracotta art that sang of their soul. Adamma's sculptures, some life-sized, adorned shrines or homes, their eyes wide with stories of ancestors or spirits. Her fingers wove intricate hairstyles into clay, each braid a prayer, perhaps for fertility or rain. The fire's glow lit her face as she worked, the earthy scent of clay mingling with wood smoke. In Knox markets, her figures were traded alongside iron tools, linking villages in a web of culture and craft. These sculptures, found across Nigeria, hint at a society rich in ritual and artistry, where women like Adamma were keepers of tradition. Her hands didn't just shape clay, they shaped a legacy that outlasted empires. Picture her humming a chant, her fingers tracing patterns passed down through generations. What stories did Adamma's figures tell, standing silent in shrines? Did they carry her hopes for a world beyond her village? By the shimmering shores of Lake Chad, in the 10th century, Zara's voice wove magic under a baobab shade. In the Kanem-Bornu Empire, spanning modern Chad and Nigeria, she was a storyteller, a keeper of histories like the griots of West Africa. Her tales sang of traders braving sandstorms, warriors clashing for honor, and markets where Hausa and Kanuri voices mingled. Kanem-Bornu's caravans carried salt and gold to the Mediterranean, linking Africa to distant worlds. But Zara's words gave those journeys soul. She memorized genealogies, battles, and myths, her voice a bridge uniting diverse peoples under one sky. Picture the crowds, their eyes bright as Zara's tales painted heroes in the desert haze. Her stories, passed to her daughter, preserved a kingdom's heart through centuries of change. Unlike Mali or Songhai, Kanem-Bornu's story is rarely told, its storytellers even less so. Why do trade routes endure in our minds while Zara's tales fade? What histories did she save, whispering them to the stars? In the Luba Empire's lush forests, in the 18th century, Mwezi knelt by a river, grinding herbs with a mortar's gentle thud. Her remedies, rooted in Luba spirituality, healed warriors' wounds and soothed chiefs' fears, strengthening a kingdom renowned for its art and governance. The Luba, in modern-day Congo, crafted a society where power flowed through sacred stories and carved stools, each a masterpiece of balance. Mwezi's knowledge, learned from her grandmother, was more than medicine, it was power, tying her people to ancestors and gods. She walked village paths, the forests hum her companion, offering teas for fever or blessings for births. Her healing hands held the Luba together during wars and trade disputes. her wisdom a quiet force. Today, Luba art inspires Congolese culture, but healers like Mwezi are its unsung heart. Imagine her gentle touch, the scent of herbs rising in the morning mist. Why don't we sing of her strength, which mended more than bodies? What lives did Mwezi's herbs save, carrying her legacy forward? In the highlands of ancient Ethiopia, 1,500 years ago, Saba sat at her loom, the steady clack of wood echoing through stone walls. The kingdom of Axum, a trading empire that minted its own coins and built obelisks reaching toward the sky, thrived on the backs of merchants and monarchs. Yet it was women like Saba who dressed the kingdom in color. She wove cotton and silk imported from India and dyed with local plants, each thread chosen with care, each pattern whispered with meaning. Her textiles adorned priests, wrapped infants, and carried offerings to temples. In the bustling Axumite markets, traders bartered gold and ivory, but Saba's cloth bound families, marked ceremonies, and preserved culture. Her loom didn't just weave fabric, it wove identity. Imagine her hands moving with rhythm, passing stories between threads. Why do we celebrate Axum's kings and coins, but forget the women who clothed its soul? Beneath the stone towers of Great Zimbabwe, 800 years ago, Manla studied the sun's path as he sketched in the dust. A stonemason and planner, Manla helped build Africa's most iconic ruins, dry stone walls rising without mortar, curving with elegance and mathematical precision. The great enclosure, once home to rulers and rituals, echoed with Manla's quiet brilliance. He understood weight, slope, and balance, long before formal engineering existed. With every granite block placed by hand, he honored the spirits of land and ancestors. Great Zimbabwe was more than a fortress. It was a spiritual city humming with trade, politics, and ceremony. But while its birds of soapstone are admired in museums, the minds behind the stone remain nameless. Imagine Mandla watching the sunrise align with his creation. Why do we walk its walls, yet forget the hands that raised them? In the Nubian desert, 7,000 years ago, long before the pyramids, Asha stood beside stone circles tracking the stars. At Nabta Playa, near modern-day Egypt and Sudan, early African sky watchers charted solstices and mapped the heavens, centuries before Stonehenge. Asha, a priestess astronomer, used bone tools and water clocks to read celestial rhythms. Her tribe gathered for ceremonies in alignment with Orion's belt, the Milky Way mirrored in their architecture. These stone markers were calendars, temples, and telescopes all in one. Asha's knowledge guided planting, migration, and myth. She connected sky to soil, science to spirit. Today, her name is lost, but her vision remains etched in stone. Imagine her tracing constellations across the desert sky. Why do we marvel at stars, but forget who first read them? From Thabo's stone blades to Mwezi's healing herbs, Africa's hidden heroes wove a tapestry of ingenuity, resilience, and heart. Their tools, art, stories, and remedies shaped a continent that birthed humanity and thrives today. In Africa's 54 nations, from Lagos's tech hubs to Chad's vibrant festivals, their threads live on, pulsing with creativity and pride. This history isn't buried in the past. It's alive in every market, every song, every dream. These voices, toolmakers, potters, storytellers, healers, call us to see Africa anew, not as a land of forgotten empires, but as a cradle of human spirit. Share your favorite African story in the comments below, and let's keep these echoes ringing across time. Subscribe for more untold histories, and join us to weave Africa's next chapter. Africa's past is a living weave. Its threads are yours to carry forward.